So, how do you go about getting yourself motivated to every day send emails, make phone calls, and actively sell? How do you go about that? How do you think about it? Because for most people, that thought makes them want to cringe.
So I think it's all about building a system or a process that will help facilitate your sales. So I recently read James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, and he's got a great quote in there. I think it's in the book where he says, goals are great for setting direction. Systems are best for making progress. Everyone wants to win an Olympic gold medal. It's the athletes that put a system in place that allow them to achieve that end goal. So for me, it's definitely about building a sales process. I think in the past, maybe I've been guilty of, there's just so many things flying at you. Who do I speak to? Which person in the organization do I contact? What do I say? How do I get their email? You can get bogged down in all these questions and really make no progress if you don't have a system in place. So the system that I used specifically, I like using tangible examples. So I'll try and use the one that I just did with the Football Finance Academy and I learned this very much at Manchester United, which was very process driven, that you create a prospect list. So basically what I did was in a prospect list, I listed out every single football club that I wanted to contact in an Excel spreadsheet or a list, pen and paper. You can do it anyway. Spreadsheet's probably your best bet for most people starting a business. Listed out all the football clubs I wanted to contact. The next section over was I identified who in that organization I needed to speak to. So it was head of education at the academy or academy director. I got 2 options. Then I went on to finding out how I can get their email or their phone number. And there's a few tricks here that you can do. Some of the simplest ones are you actually go on LinkedIn and people sometimes tag their email. If they're not careful, they'll put their email right in LinkedIn so you can get it there. Or most times, actually, I've had a really good success rate of this. You just find out what the at and then the end of the email is. So let's say it's at arsenalfootballclub.co.uk. You just have the first name dot last name or a couple combinations of each. It's really not too difficult to find people's email information. And if you really are having trouble, another tactic that I've done before is actually just ring up the organization itself and say, hey, I have a package that I need to send or an email or marketing material I'd like to send to person X. I just want to confirm their email. I have it here as this, and they'll either correct you or not. And that's sort of one way to get past the gatekeeper a little and get the email and the contact details of someone you're looking to connect. So then you have the organization, you have who you want to contact, you have their details, and then the final element to it to make it a bit more successful is you do that desk-based research and you find out that one thing about them, that one comment they made on a LinkedIn post that they were passionate about, that one holiday photo you've seen. I mean, don't get too creepy here where you're sort of looking at their entire life. But what you're trying to do is just get 1 or 2 things, get a glimpse of someone and who they are and what they care about so you can drop that in to the cold email that you send them. So the first line might be, hey, I saw you did a great initiative XYZ, and then you can carry on of why that links into why you're contacting them. So I think just setting out that grid of the prospect list. And then basically what I've done is I split them into tiers. So of all the clubs, I know they're all not a top priority. So you have tiers 1, 2, and 3, or however many you need. And that allows you to kind of reach out systematically. Because if you have 100 prospects you want to go out to and you're trying to contact them all, you'll drive yourself crazy and you'll waste weeks and weeks and weeks. So if you tier it and go, okay, each week I'm going to reach out to 5 people or 10 people, and it's a system that goes along. And you keep track of their responses so you can see which email templates are working. Maybe you try some other ones to see what sticks and what gets the best results. And you keep track of that as well. So you can basically course correct along the way. So you have a good system in place. Personally, I spend about an hour each morning from 9 to 10 reaching out to people or responding to sales emails. And then I'll move on to the things I need to do for the rest of the day and periodically check in and respond to those emails. So sort of a long-winded answer of saying setting yourself up a good system and a process will help you make progress and be successful with your sales.